Hello, everyone, and welcome to Full Spectrum Cannabis with Calandra and Lance. But Lance is out this week. He's on vacation somewhere. So I, the producer, Sam, I'm going to step in and help Calandra. Well, I'm going to probably hinder Calandra as she does this show. So anyway, welcome everyone to another episode. We've got a guest today. I will let Calandra do the introductions. Not to put you on the spot, but we just went through the name. You got this.
That's wonderful.
You got this.
All right, we got Angela Grelle here from CannaCon.
Yeah, you did it.
Yes, she is the VP of Marketing and Customer Engagement Manager, Consumer Engagement. You can correct me, Ms. Grelle. It is wonderful to have you today. We've been talking off camera for a while, and it's just been a pleasant, wonderful conversation. So
You had plenty of time.
I did.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We are so happy to have you. So, Angela, tell us kind of what you do at CannaCon.
Well, we're a really small team. There's 5 of us, so I do a lot of things, but mainly marketing and branding and public relations and customer relationship management and that kind of thing. But a lot of what I do is just things like this, getting to know people, making connections. It's kind of
What
fun.
is CannaCon? Well, I mean, I see it now, and I'm new to all of this. Okay. Calandra's been in the industry. I have not. So this is, despite conceiving of and producing this show, I mean, I love it because for me, I did have so many questions around, like, what happened? Because marijuana used to be illegal. And then we would smoke it. I remember the old days, Yeah. But I gave that up a long, long time ago. And then this stigma of, oh, it's bad or something stuck with me in a certain way. And now it's not that way anymore. So what is CannaCon? Like, what does your organization do to help promote the industry?
We are a business-to-business cannabis expo and conference. Basically what we do is we go into mainly emerging cannabis markets where things are newly legalized, and we bring the business side of the industry in through our exhibitors and through our seminars to help educate the new businesses that are opening, and also to help facilitate those business partnerships between the brands that are going to open here and all of the products that they're going to need to run their business. So we like to say everything from seed to sale. So there will be seeds, soil, nutrients, lighting, everything on the growing side, and then you'll have all of the processing and packaging equipment. We'll have marketing and branding, accounting, payroll processing,
all the business, nuts and bolts.
All the business, yeah. All the
legal stuff, I assume.
Yes.
Lots of legal stuff.
Yes.
I say all the boring things, but really it's pretty interesting to kind of walk through the expo hall and see the kind of exhibitors that we have. Oftentimes we'll have people like Train Air Conditioning and ADT Security, and sometimes some of the cell phone providers like T-Mobile, because everybody that opens a business is going to need a phone service. Mm-hmm. Everybody that opens a business is going to need to process payroll. It's no different than if you're opening a retail store selling clothing. Mm-hmm. You're going to need all of those same things.
Right.
So you're involved in marketing, and we know that marketing to, a consumer who's buying clothes or groceries is very different from marketing to a cannabis customer. So can you tell us, what are some of the challenges you've seen with marketing? Because I know a lot of outlets, they don't want to see that leaf or the word THC. And so tell us a little more about the challenges you've seen.
It's been difficult, especially when I've been with CannaCon for 7 years now. So 7 years ago, it was even harder.
Right.
Nobody would even let you use the word cannabis. And for a long time, our tagline was where the cannabis industry does business. And just that word prevented me from advertising in so many places that we had to change it.
We got dropped from TikTok because of cannabis, right? I mean, you were big on TikTok for a little while, Calandra.
I was?
For a couple of weeks. You were growing. You were big on TikTok. And then they dropped us.
Yeah.
I got kicked off. learned
We don't
something
have
new
a
today.
TikTok for that reason.
Right.
We lost 50,000 Instagram followers because they shut our account down about 2
because
years ago.
because of
Wow.
cannabis.
So we're trying to rebuild that. It's
Yeah.
happened twice now.
And will they? I mean, do they have a stated policy that says you can't be on here if you're going to use the word cannabis? Really?
Yeah, and like I tried to run ads on Spotify a while back, and they just denied every ad I tried to run. Or we did a New York show, and I tried to put advertising in the subways, like the
Yeah.
little things you see in the subways. No, because that's federally funded. Can't do it.
That's funny. I recently reconnected with a camp that I used to work at and applied for the directorship position. Whether I get that or not is a whole other thing, right? But there's some part of me that's concerned that because I even speak about cannabis, that might exclude me from that world or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is it's funny because not funny. It's weird because I am not a consumer of cannabis these days. I will say that I've occasionally had a gummy at night to go to sleep or something, and I like that. That works, but I don't really like getting high. It just doesn't work for me these days.
Yeah.
But I think it's so good that the industry is like regulating and normalizing and becoming something that it's always been around anyway, and for it to be out in the open and for it to be legal and for it to be more inclusive space and all of these things is good. So I don't know, but there's still that stigma, isn't there?
And you're getting a safer product. The thing is, people were smoking weed pre-legalization.
Were they?
The problem was they were smoking weed somebody maybe grew in their basement, could have had mold, could have had pesticides, you don't know.
Right.
Now, at least, if you're buying in a legal market from a legal recreational or medical shop, it's gone through the process of being tested and packaged. You know what's in that product. You can read the label on the back of the product, and
Right.
you know exactly what you're getting. I'm not a big cannabis consumer either. I'm
Okay.
a very occasional edible user.
Sure. Yep.
And every once in a while, I'll take a hit or two off of a joint, but it's just not, I'm older. It affects me differently than it used to.
It's the same
it's
for
so
me.
Yeah.
strong now.
Yeah, and that's
Like-
something we were talking about
Yeah.
before you came. We were talking about our target market, our target audience is older people, and I say older, 30 and up.
Yeah.
You got a family, and you're not trying to wake up high or be high for 3 days, or
Yeah.
not feeling good.
Yeah.
But we want to feel relaxed. We want something to give us a little pickup, or help us with sleep. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, and the products we've created, I created them around things that I like as a professional, as a parent,
Yeah, I mean, that's
as
the
a
thing.
mentor.
You're an attorney.
Yeah,
Like but I know a lot
Yeah.
of other attorneys who have also used
A lot.
marijuana
Yeah.
over the years, way before it was legal. too,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
okay. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like America just needs to stop with the whole like, just okay, it's legal, it's fine. We're gonna have to,
Yeah.
but then just like alcohol, like then figure out how to make it safer and to
Yeah.
make it work for people, and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the younger people, and when I say younger, like in their 20s, they want to be high, They don't have the responsibilities that we have.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the responsibility.
It's when they're not paying rent, they just stay high.
And that's okay too. I tell people if you're consuming for medical reasons because you have epilepsy or arthritis, or like my daughter has Crohn's disease and it really helps her with
It helps
her
my mother.
Crohn's.
I know this, and she was worried about it, but it helps her. So
Yeah, my mother has neuropathy in her feet
Mm-hmm.
because she goes to chemo once a month. She has multiple myeloma.
Oh.
And it very much helps her. I mean, but she also has a fentanyl patch. She takes other prescription meds because she's in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
A lot of pain. But the cannabis helps with that neuropathy in her feet. And
Totally.
she said it feels like there are knives stabbing her in her feet.
my father just, he's got multiple myeloma too, but he
does.
we'll talk about this off.
Yes.
Yeah, afterward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
He survived it. He got CAR T therapy, and they There's no indication of him having it any longer,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is
Congratulations
really interesting.
to him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yes.
really big deal. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk.
But
Yeah,
I also
most
feel if you're
definitely.
20 and you don't have responsibilities and you want to just get high to get high, I think that's fine too.
I remember that
I do
being
too.
fun when I was young.
Sometimes I like to have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
Not because I just want to, be done with my day. I'm out with my friends. I want a couple cocktails. I don't think there should be a difference. I don't think people should look at it any differently. We all
Right.
do what we have to do to make it through the day.
Right. And I really feel like, when they're younger, yeah, they smoke a
I'm
lot.
gonna fix
but-
that camera. You go ahead. Don't just ignore me.
Okay.
All right, this one's good.
But as they get older and they have more responsibilities, I feel like, they do become a little more responsible and they don't smoke weed as much when they have to get up every morning
Yeah.
and get to work, when they have children, when they realize, okay, I cannot be high 24 hours a day because I can't remember, I can't focus, and
It doesn't-
And they kind
doing
of they
anything like
scale
that.
back,
Doing anything that alters your mind like that constantly isn't fun
No, it isn't,
over time anyway.
It
like
isn't.
it just gets to be unfun.
and it's not attractive.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
it's
No.
not. It's not cute.
No.
no, right. It's not.
Not
I heard that. You're a kid somewhere like, oh, my mom says that when I'm doing the wrong thing. That's not cute.
I tell my kids that when they're doing the wrong thing too. So
So you're here this week. Tell us, kind of what you're doing in Minnesota this week, and tell us when CannaCon will be coming to Minnesota.
So this week I'm just here kind of visiting some dispensaries and visiting some of the bottle shops and
Some of your favorite podcasts
and some
on
of my
cannabis.
favorite cannabis podcasts and getting to meet lots of great new people like you
I love
guys.
it. I love it.
Handing out flyers, just doing some on the ground marketing because it's hard to market in this industry and it's hard to reach your target
it?
audience, and I find sometimes the best way to do that is to just get on the ground and do some old school guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back August 16th and 17th at the St. Paul River Center for CannaCon. We'll have probably close to 200 exhibitors.
Excellent.
Jesse Ventura is going to come be one of our speakers, so that
Okay.
should be interesting and fun.
Is he still living in Minnesota? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think so. He's got his
Yeah, I don't
farm
know.
here now.
We should reach out to him and
Yeah. You think he'll give us some goats?
I'll make a prediction.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say there's a 3% chance of us
Okay.
getting a goat.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you could get goats from just about anyone who has
I
goats.
want one of his goats.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, so I can give it to
She's
somebody who makes some
persuasive.
curry goat.
I can
Yeah.
see
You
that.
could see.
I
I
can
mean,
see
what are you
that.
gonna
Yeah.
do with the goat though?
No, I'm gonna give it to somebody else to make curry goat. That's my favorite food.
Oh, goats are
Jamaican.
delicious.
See?
Now, I thought you were going to have a pet for this goat. Now you
no.
want to eat it.
Yeah.
The cuter the
Yeah.
critter, the better they taste.
True.
It's terrible, but it's true. Oh,
That's
you're so
true.
cute and delicious.
Yeah. No, I have two little monsters at home. Actually, I have three. I have two dogs. My son has a new kitten named Louis, like
Okay.
Louis Vuitton.
After the last one.
Yeah, because we lost Gucci.
Yeah. Good.
Now we've got Louis. So Louis is 2 months old. He weighs like a pound, if that.
So cute.
Yes. The dogs are not a fan. They are
Oh.
wondering where the hell did we get that cat from?
Right. Why did we get another one of those? The last
Why
one.
we get another
we
one?
finally killed off that last one. We've got Noodles and Ramen. Noodles is the dog and Ramen is the cat.
Okay.
Funny.
Noodles and ramen. I love it.
Yeah, and Noodles was a consensus name because the kids were fighting over the name, and I said, well, I was making pasta, and I said, how about Noodles? How about we name the thing Noodles because everyone loves noodles, and sure enough, and then we got a cat, Ramen.
I like that better than like a human name.
Steve.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, people do
I
that.
know people who, name their dog Ryan.
Yeah. I have two of my children's cats living at my house right now.
Those
What
are your
their
cats.
names?
Rupert is one. and
Okay.
He's a big fat orange cat.
Okay.
And then Hunty is the other one. And he's also a big fat orange cat, but he's a fluffy fat orange cat.
Did you say Hunty?
Hunty.
Hunty. I like that. That's like
want-
Hunty.
in case your cats listen, I
Honey?
want you to know you're just full-bodied. It's okay.
No, they are fat.
She said
They're straight
fat.
up fat.
They're fat.
Yes.
They've been eating at Thanksgiving dinner because you invited us to Thanksgiving dinner
You're
off
welcome.
air.
You are welcome at my house for Thanksgiving.
And this
Okay,
is- I mean, we
you
have to
heard
travel
that,
south for
right?
that. I know, but I've got family. Oh,
No, but
it would be tough. Can we do like a
we
week
can get really
before?
good barbecue at her house. I can look.
I have a
and tell.
smoker in my backyard.
Oh, see.
I know, but if I tell the whole family, I'm like, no Thanksgiving this year. I'm out of here. I'm going to Texas because I
think
got
we
an
could
invite.
Cajun deep fry a turkey.
Oh, I love
Oh my
that
gosh,
too.
she's
do
the
it.
woman
They're
not
so
to
good.
steal my heart.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
so good.
we're
Get
coming.
some macaroni and cheese and some potatoes.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have 2 dogs and a cat with me and my family. I got 3 grandkids too. She's gonna look out the window and say, "What the hell?"
They're all coming.
That's all right. Well, there's always plenty of food.
Look at that.
Yeah, she's
That
can
is-
accommodate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Southern hospitality.
I love
it. I love
so
it.
CannaCon is, I mean, CannaCon though is predominantly the convention, right? Like that's what the whole thing exists for. and-
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's really, we'll have seminars on everything from genetics to how to build a better website to how to work with your trademark to make sure that other companies aren't infringing on your trademark, because that's kind of a difficult thing in this industry right now, especially with everything being so separate state to state.
Right.
And then there'll be some seminars on regulation, seminars on extraction and efficiency in your grow process.
I like
that's part of the reason we do this show and why it originated here is because the laws state to state are completely different. I've got a really good friend, Matt Lyons, who's an attorney down in Oklahoma. You'll meet him.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I think
we'll
I
get him.
might have met him before.
Really? Yeah. Well, he's definitely like the marijuana lawyer in Oklahoma, but the laws are different there, and so a lot of his clients are people who grow, and then there's there's state laws around how you can do this, and then there's federal laws, and you wind up getting yourself in trouble one way or another, and you don't even necessarily know you're doing the wrong thing. It's like it's a tough industry for that reason, isn't it?
It is. And taxation in this industry is crazy. Like trying to file your taxes if you're running a cannabis business is just so complicated and so difficult. And of course, the feds want their money, but then there's a lot of things you can't write off because you're doing a federally illegal business. So
I remember when they first started talking about this, though. I mean, maybe not first, but I remember as a, let's say, 20-year-old or something, so 30 years ago. Well, if we legalize it, then there'll be tax revenue, and there'll be, like, it'll fix things, it'll make it better, and then, we know it was legal in parts of Europe, right? And they've got this whole system around it. It is taking a long time for them to figure it out.
it's taking too long.
Too long,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, can't we just get it fixed and be done with it?
Yeah.
I mean-
Even the descheduling is taking a while. Or rescheduling.
I know, and then
so.
you're working. This is Calandra's one of the important things to remember. And I did notice on the CannaCon site, no offense to CannaCon or anything, but the list of speakers, there were very few people of color, and there were only a few women sprinkled in there. And I know how that works, but your work around like the number of people whose lives were affected by the past legislation, like the laws around marijuana, and then you work to help people, and now you've got your dispensary or your, what is it
Yeah.
technically? Is
It is a dispensary.
Okay.
And the beverage.
Just no leaf or whatever.
Just no leaf yet. And, and even if we don't get a license, we will remain a hemp-based dispensary
Okay.
with low-dose products because we get a lot. I'd say probably 60-70% of our customers don't want to just
They're not
be
really
high.
looking to get high. That's
No.
not the whole point, is it?
No, they're just looking to feel good, and they like the line of products that we have. So,
I mean, that makes sense to me because I see like my dad and my mother and other people who like when they find their way to it, they're not looking to get high. In fact, if they get too high, they don't want that.
right.
They just
right,
want to feel better.
Right.
And it does certain things that make them feel
Right.
better. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's how I feel about it. And I shared with Calandra when we were first talking before we started, we have an open speaker process. The problem is 99% of the people working in this industry are white males. So 99% of the people that we get applying for speakers.
You
are
mean
white
so you're
males.
not driving it?
No.
Okay. It's not your thing.
I actively reach out and try and pull in a more diverse group of speakers,
Yeah.
but it's not always easy to find the right people to fill those spots.
I, being a middle-aged white male, do not want to say that all middle-aged white males are bad,
No, of
right?
course not.
But
Of course not.
But the representation that actually mirrors what's out there in the world would be better.
It would be so much better.
Yes.
It would be
and
so much better.
anything we can do to get there, let's work at that, right? So,
Yeah.
Calandra works with the reservations around the state that are opening their dispensaries. We've had guests on the show that are people of color, which I always find that kind of funny because I'm like, everyone's got color. And, like, I just wish we didn't have to do that all the time, but it is important. Like, let's, anyway, so yeah.
Well, we're going to work together to add
I can
to the roster.
I know.
You already know.
I know.
I'm very excited about it.
Yes,
You
yes.
two hit it off right away.
We
Oh,
do.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna
Well,
have a
that's why
great
I gave you
time.
so much time before.
Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
I just figured I should.
It was strategic on your part.
strategic.
She's going
Standing
to come
on
for
the side of the
Thanksgiving
highway.
dinner now.
I know.
Yes, yes.
I love it.
So one thing we do on this show is we try to give something away. So
like that.
maybe, a couple of tickets to CannaCon.
Absolutely.
So what would you want someone to put in the comment section? Maybe
They got to do something.
they got to do something.
So anybody on the YouTube channel who puts something in the comment section, we haven't gotten there yet. We will. But you get to decide what it is they need to write, and then they go into a little drawing, and we pull a name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what should we? Oh, I've got some ideas, but
Oh, if you have ideas, go for
yeah,
it.
because I mean, if
you
we
sound
put
like
you,
you have, you
well,
sound
it's
like
got to
you've
be
got something.
Thanksgiving turkey related, right? Because you're
Okay.
Yeah,
I think she said Cajun deep fried turkey.
I think Cajun deep fried turkey.
I think, yeah.
done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cajun deep fried turkey.
Cajun deep fried turkey.
All right, put that in the
You've
comments.
never had one. You should try
I've never had one. That
So
sounds
good.
so good.
I've done it.
And what I
delicious.
just Cajun. You know what? She knows about seasoning. Okay.
Yes.
True.
Look at her. She's like, yes, just the way she said it.
I know.
And she said mac and cheese. She knows her shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't say bratwurst.
No, she didn't. She didn't. But I might have to bring her some Usingers from Wisconsin.
From Milwaukee.
Yes. Yes.
Milwaukee. You don't actually pronounce the L's in there, right? It's Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew that from Madison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're from Wisconsin, well, especially the southern part of Wisconsin, it's Milwaukee,
Yeah.
not Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you been to Wisconsin yet?
No,
Okay.
I have
okay.
not. This is
Okay.
my first time up here in this part of the country.
Really?
And it's
Really?
beautiful.
Really?
First time in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are they treating you here?
Great.
Okay.
Everybody has been very nice. I have been in a lot of different shops and
Okay.
breweries and bottle shops and dispensaries, and everybody has been so kind.
We do have that, right? The whole
Yeah.
Minnesota nice thing.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I know.
We've talked about this before.
We
but
have.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it extends to people coming in, but like if you move here, you might not feel like the Minnesota nice is sort of like, well, but am I really going to get to know you? We'll give it a little while. But anyway, but you've
But
enjoyed it up here.
But are you like actually nice? Or are you like Texas nice, where they're like nice to your face, but then bless your heart kind of nice?
No, I don't think we do it. I know what you're talking about. That southern, like the minute you walk away, they're like, oh, I can't stand that person. That kind of thing. Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Good.
No.
Well, I'm going to give her some diverse places to hit up this weekend to pass out her flyers, and I know they'll be happy to have her.
Yeah, I would love
So
that.
yeah, so CannaCon's been around a while, and is it a well-known thing in the industry? I'm so new to all of this.
We've been around for 10 years now.
Okay.
And yeah, we're pretty well known in the industry as far as on the convention scene goes. I think outside of MJ BizCon, they started just before we did, but we're the second longest running.
Okay. And sort of the second best known then?
Yeah.
Like they beat you just because they got in there
Well,
first?
they have that huge Vegas event every year,
Okay.
so they really are like the largest event. I would say we probably overall, because we do several events a year, like throughout the year, we probably have more attendees and exhibitors, but they do one large event where it's 1,500
Calandra is-
exhibitors and.
Calandra is the self-proclaimed queen of events, right? Or what did you say? Conventions?
Yeah, I go to a lot of conventions. I actually sent Lance like a whole list of conventions, cannabis conventions through
Yeah.
the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going?
Might as well. I mean,
I mean,
we
Juliet
got
wants to
Cannabis
go, too.
Times. Yeah, we got Cannabis Times coming up in Vegas. That's in August.
Okay.
You have MJ Biz. That's in December. And you have a bunch of other ones coming out. I think there's one next week. It's another part of, it's not MJ Biz. It's another BizCon, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course. I haven't been to one in a couple months because the last one was in Jersey. That
Okay.
was in May.
All
yeah.
right. And you were there?
Yeah.
For that, yeah.
I don't think there's really many better ways if you're working in the industry or you own a business in the industry to kind of get your brand out there and to network than going to these conventions, because where else can you meet with 4 or 5, 6,000 other people all in one space that are doing the same thing, that have the same goal, that you can make those connections with face to face. I tell people the same thing about spending their marketing dollars on exhibiting it at an event like ours.
Sure.
I can spend $2,500, $3,000 on a newspaper ad or some digital marketing, or I can spend that same amount of money and set up a booth and speak face to face with my targeted customer for a couple of days and get far more ROI out of that spend.
Yeah, I'm sure that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. The, old media sort of print campaigns and stuff are pretty tough. Pretty tough to figure out if you've hit anyone, really.
Advertising is so hard now. It's so hard. Like we can't advertise on social media because we're in the cannabis industry. Mm-hmm. So that's out for us. That Facebook has just completely shut our ad accounts down. We can't do anything. I don't even try it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Google will let me, I run Google ads all the time, but I have to be really cautious of the words that I use and the things that I target. And so that gets a little funky. Radio, it's really expensive and you don't get a lot back out of it these days because most people aren't really listening to the radio stations live anymore.
Nope. They're watching shows like this.
They're watching
honestly.
shows. Yeah. Or they're doing Sirius XM radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're finding their own. Yeah, it's like, we don't watch regular television or listen to radio the way we used to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I heard about CannaCon coming here because I think I was at a convention. Mm-hmm. And CannaCon came up and I just happened to click. And that took me to the website. And then I saw that they were coming. And this was earlier this year I saw it. And I was thinking, when was this scheduled? I haven't seen any advertisement. Then it occurred to me that it's cannabis. So I'm not going to see it, through traditional other marketing avenues
So you
like
really
social
do have
media.
a hard time getting the word out.
Yes.
It's really a lot of word of mouth. So it's a lot of on the ground and kind of making connections and trying to get just word of mouth going within the industry, because that's the other thing. It's like I put up billboards. It's a lot of money. I'm reaching a lot of people that really aren't going to be interested.
So on the side of the highway?
Yeah. So people that aren't going to be interested in really coming to the show, right?
Right.
People will see it, but it's not my target audience, because our exhibitors, they're happy if 10,000 people walk through the door, but if it's 10,000 people that are just wanting to look and not actually industry people that are wanting to shop, that are planning on starting a business, that are serious about what they're doing, then that's not really a benefit to them.
Right.
Now, home growers, I think, a lot of times will come and they have a great time because, number one, they get tons of free samples. of
Yep.
soil and nutrients, and they can buy different seeds they can't get other places.
Sure.
And, so it's great for them. But outside of that, like if you're just...
So it's not generally a consumer's convention. It's for the industry.
Yeah. And we do have some things for consumers. Like there'll be some, I think Puffco has a booth and some other glass companies will be there. And there's, Canna Joy, which is a dispensary place. We've got a few places like that. But from my understanding, the convention center won't want them sell their products on site. So it's more branding for them than it is actual
Sales.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like CannaCon better than Lucky Leaf because
I don't know Lucky Leaf. Well, you
the
look at me
Lucky
like I
Leaf-
know.
The Lucky Leaf convention, what a shit show. It seems like Lucky Leaf, they were at the Minneapolis Convention Center.
Okay.
And they could not sell, they can't sample, and it's more of, business to business opportunity. But they weren't open and honest about that. Whereas CannaCon is saying, okay, we don't have sampling, we don't have tasting, but you can come learn about these other businesses. And she's explaining exactly why: taxation, payroll.
Right.
I don't feel like Lucky Leaf did that. Lucky Leaf marketed as if you could come get samples, you could come, as a customer, but as a vendor that you could sell, you can sample. I think it was completely misleading.
Right.
Whereas what CannaCon is for, what CannaCon can do, and I don't think Lucky Leaf did that. And as a lot of Minnesotans, are still pissed about that.
Are they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They feel like they came, and they just tried to profit, off of this new market.
Right.
Because Minnesota is still new, but there's two reasons Minnesota has been a leader in this market.
I keep hearing, and I read a lot of articles about it now since we've been doing this. And I keep hearing about these ways that Minnesota is really leading.
Yeah. And I'll say overarching, Minnesota, is on the map 3 ways: George Floyd, Prince, Mall of America. Okay. So then now we've got the cannabis industry. And now Minnesota's a leader because of the THC beverages.
Yep.
No state has done what Minnesota has done. And number 2, being able to sell edibles before complete legalization.
Okay.
No state has ever done that. Every state that I go to with the conventions, they always talk about how it is amazing how Minnesota is able to actually sell edibles and beverages before even getting their policies in place with the offices.
Okay,
Office
what
of
did
Cannabis
we
Management.
do
It
different?
is amazing.
Yeah.
What did we do different on beverages that other states didn't do?
So
What's the differentiator?
So other states, they had to be completely legalized, before they could do the beverages. Okay, they did have, some hemp beverages, but in those markets, it was completely legal. Minnesota just came out the box and said, hey, we're going to take this small amount of marijuana and put it in here because it falls under the 2018 Farm Bill, and it saved the breweries.
Right.
No other state has done that. And you can go to a bar, and you can just buy a beverage. You can't really do that in any other state.
Really?
No.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh,
You can't do
no.
that.
No? I don't
No.
know. I don't know because I don't
Just
do
think
things.
you can go down to Flying Cloud,
Yeah.
right? Flying
Yeah.
Cloud restaurant,
Yeah.
the brewery that came.
Yeah.
You can order a burger and a hemp beverage.
It was Michael,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Michael.
You-
Yeah,
you-
the family business.
You put yourself right in his family too.
I did. Yeah, I think I'm having Christmas dinner with them.
Thanksgiving and Christmas are taken care of.
But you go to other states, you can't do that.
I just
You can't
don't
go
know
to
that.
Vegas. You can't go to a restaurant and pick a THC beverage off the menu.
Really?
Nope.
No, you can go to Earl Giles and you can order a sleigh beverage, my beverage,
Yeah.
off the menu.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. I mean, because we're here, right? I just
Yeah.
figure this is what's going on. I haven't done a lot of traveling lately.
Yeah,
so.
Minnesota is. When I went to the THC beverage conference last year in San Francisco. Minnesota was a talk of the entire conference.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
love it.
Each speaker that got on that stage.
Is that why you're having CannaCon here? One of those? Is that part of the reason?
I mean, that's part of the reason, but also we always try and go to states that are newly legalizing just because we feel like it's most beneficial for the industry here, and it's also most beneficial for our exhibitors. I have a love-hate relationship with Lucky Leaf because I think, well, they came to our first Oklahoma event, and from there they're like, okay, we want to do this too. So they just kind of rinsed and repeated and copied what we do. But our owners are cannabis industry veterans. They worked in the medical market. They worked with HempFest. They worked to legalize cannabis. They're all in. They want a strong, healthy market. They want the industry to thrive. They care about doing the right thing and growing the industry in a way that is going to support the businesses coming in and make a safe, well-regulated.
I mean, it's what we need. It's
Yeah.
It's what the whole industry needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
So it's hard sometimes to see outsiders come in that don't have that same perspective. And a lot of times people will say, oh, I went to that CannaCon event in Minnesota a few months ago. And I'm like, no, that wasn't a CannaCon event. That was Lucky Leaf. That wasn't us. Like, don't.
Right.
Not the same.
Right.
Definitely not the same. I mean, the business practices are totally different.
Okay.
I mean, you could kind of tell Lucky Leaf they weren't very aware of what they were doing. You know,
I mean, there's no good reason for us not to call them out.
Yeah, I might. I mean, we're already knee deep in now.
Yeah.
It was a bait and switch.
Yeah.
You know, and they have the nerve to be scheduled to come again next year. And I can tell you that the business owners I talk to, they're like, "Fuck Lucky Leaf."
Right. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. And I can tell you, they're telling other, business owners, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I think that the people
And
that
that's
went
not
to
what
the
we're hearing
event,
about CannaCon.
right? People that went to the event and bought tickets,
That's
they had the full expectation that I'm buying a ticket, I'm going to be tasting a beverage, I'm going to be tasting an edible. They're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
They're not going. They're going to buy a ticket knowing, okay, they're just a business conference. That's not what I want.
Right.
They're not going to buy a ticket to CannaCon because CannaCon is being very clear. This is business to business. Okay, if you want to buy a ticket and come see what we have, of course they're not going to turn you away.
Right. I mean, there's
but
still
they're
good
not going to
reasons to be there.
expect.
Yeah.
They're not going to expect to be drinking these 1 ounce, little tasting every beverage.
They can come here.
They can come here and do it to a liquor store.
We keep getting all these samples.
Oh,
from
we got
people.
more samples? Shit.
I will say, in all fairness to Lucky Leaf, there have been times where we have gone into a state where we were told one thing by the convention center, and then you get there and things are not exactly like you were told, and it does, as the show producer, put you in a tough
Gotcha.
spot. So that might have been what that
No,
situation
right.
it wasn't. The convention center told them from day one.
Okay, well, that's different.
Exactly.
That's
exactly, and that's kind of that's where the angst comes from. You knew this from day one, and you should have told the vendors.
Lucky Leaf, you better reach out to Calandra.
They have. I blocked them on my email, and for some reason they like.
You better apologize to Calandra.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Man.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started because I gave them some choice words.
I hope we leave a better impression that not all conventions that come in from out of state are
You're being,
that way.
You're being honest and upfront. I think that because Minnesota's market is very new, you are going to have people who are going to try to take advantage
Of course.
of what's here. And I feel like that's what happened, to get...
Lucky Leaf came in and more or less saw an opportunity and wasn't transparent, is what you're saying.
But that's
Yes.
a very bad business model.
Yes.
That's not good.
Yes.
No.
Because that was the first big convention that we'd had. We did not have CannaCon first.
Right.
Lucky Leaf was first, and I think that they really wanted to get people out a lot and getting the word out, hey, you can taste, and not only from them, but from vendors saying, hey, come to this event. You can taste our product. And, you had people, they were pissed.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. I mean, you had people packing their shit. I left like 2 hours later. A bunch of other vendors, they left. So when
I
people,
remember hearing about this not being a good thing.
Yeah. And it was like all weekend. So then,
Yeah.
the next day when people came, like half the vendors were gone.
Right.
So-
That's not a good look.
Yeah. And you have people who bought tickets and they're like, why is it like half empty here?
Yeah.
So
So I've been reaching out to all of your speakers. Because that's what I do.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. and to get them, to see if we can't go to the convention and maybe record some segments with people there, or to get them in here. Because, it's an interesting industry, and you're bringing all these people into our town for this event.
I'll see if I can do a little email connection.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Maybe we can set up a little spot on the side of the show floor.
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We should just do that. I know that I think I'm gone the second day, but I'm there the first day.
Okay.
So I'll be at the convention.
First day's always the best anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, maybe we can set up and
The after
let's
party's the
just
first
plan on
night,
that.
and then people tend to be slow rolling in the next day.
Right.
Yeah. Is there an after party?
There is going to be an after party. I don't know exactly where it's going to be yet, but Steve from CannaConnect is kind of spearheading that for us.
Okay. Okay.
And wait for it.
Cool. I just need to tell my lawyer friends they like the party.
Lucas
Like, don't you-
McCann, right? With
He's coming, right?
yeah, what's his company?
Lucas is, no, of course.
Oh, I
you're
put
putting
you
me
on the spot. I put you on the spot. Oh, that's all right. I'll
Off the top
figure
of
it
my
out.
head.
No, that's a good thing to put her on the spot. So while you're looking, can I ask you a question? This has been a burning. I always have burning questions.
Yes, ask away.
What is your favorite state to go to for CannaCon?
Honestly,
Yes.
Detroit.
Really?
Going to Detroit,
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the city. It's so cool. The people in Michigan have been so kind and welcoming. I have made friends.
We're upper
There
Midwesterners together.
that,
Michigan's
like-
cool. We could
I
be okay
love
with
it.
Michigan.
Like, we'll meet at other conventions. Like, they'll be at other conventions, and I'll be like, "Oh, are you going to be at this convention?" And we
Okay,
hang
so-
out, and I just love it. I think part of it was because before I went, I had so many people, and so many people would like. People on the internet are just terrible sometimes, and they would be like, "I can't believe you're going to Detroit. You're going to get shot." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, of course.
Of
Of
course. You know how
course.
people are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we kind of like the most welcoming. The first show we did there, we were walking down in at the time it was Cobo still. It's right on the water. So we're walking back to our hotel, and we've got our, our badges and all of our stuff. People were like, "What are you here for?" And we're like, "Oh, we're doing a cannabis convention." And they're high-fiving us, and like they're just the most welcoming.
Oh, that's
Beautiful.
awesome.
The convention center is lovely there. There's a great food scene, cool bars, cool shops.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Detroit too. I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Detroit. Our new social equity director, Jess Jackson, beautiful woman. She is from Detroit. She's been here about a month. I think she would be a wonderful speaker. So they know,
I would love
at
that.
you.
I'm definitely
actually.
going to connect you to.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, she's a Detroiter.
Lucas
And-
is Can Delta.
Oh, okay.
That's
Can Delta.
Can Delta out of New York. I don't know, but I reached out to him. He's super kind on the internet anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're going
I
to
do-
interview him
Eh,
when he comes to town.
We are?
Yep.
Okay. He's going to have to buy drinks because I already got Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner locked down.
Sounds good. Oh, he's in New York. You can do a
Oh,
different
that's
holiday.
even better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
my
love
God. I
New
love
York.
New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even.
Yeah, we'll connect.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going home with him.
See? You make another new friend.
I love it. I love New York. So, marketing question for you. I think you had a question. I'm sorry. Can I?
No, I don't think I did.
I have another burning question.
Yeah, burning.
Okay.
Burning.
So, is there a restriction for CannaCon advertising on dispensary websites? So, we get tons of people to our websites. Is there a restriction if I want to put a banner that says, CannaCon, St. Paul River Center, and the date with a link?
There should not be.
Okay,
Mainly
cool.
because my advertising is, as I keep it as tame can be. There's not gonna be any pot leaves on there. It's not gonna say a whole lot other than the fact that you can come shop and network and learn about the cannabis industry.
Great.
Because I want to put that on my website.
Yeah, we'll put it on ours too.
Okay. So
would
then
love that.
people can, when they go to our website, there's a convention coming, and they can click. And, I would invite other business owners to reach out to you to do the same thing.
Yeah, she's super scary though.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
like,
She's going to have to offer him some Asian barbecue.
super scary.
No, I would be happy to comp their staff free tickets if they would put a banner on their website for me.
Of course.
All right, that's wonderful, because you've got tons of them here in Minnesota.
Yes.
Tons of dispensaries, business owners, and they've got websites.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I feel like it's an industry where everybody's, from what we've seen so far, all the people we've interviewed on the show, the people that we've met through this process, they seem to want to help each other. Like it's an industry not where there's a lot of rivalry yet.
It's so interesting because every once in a while, Oklahoma got a little catty for a while, I think, just because so many people got into the industry and there was such fierce competition. And I started seeing a little bit of that,
Right.
people tattling on each other to OMA over little rule violations and stuff. And I was like, this is not going to help any of you.
Right.
You guys need to work together and try and see how to figure this out. But for the most part, I think you're right. This industry is very full of people that want the same thing. We want a strong industry. We want people to be able to get the product that they need. We want them to get it safely. Like I said, like my daughter who uses it for her Crohn's, it's important that she has something that's safe and regulated. And living in Texas, we don't have that. So every time I leave and I go someplace else that does, I get frustrated because I don't understand why our people in charge.
You're being so polite. I love it.
Started on our
Texas politics are a little tough.
on our politics.
yeah, so
They're a little tough.
So does Texas have medical marijuana? I don't know a whole lot about Texas.
We have an extremely limited medical program. So about a year ago, I went up for lobby day and lobbied with some people and a very lovely doctor who prescribes in the medical program that we have was explaining to me that there are only, I think, 4 or 5 conditions that they will
Allow it.
allow it for.
Yeah.
It's still 0.3% and under.
0.3% and under.
That's
So nothing.
That sounds like nothing to me.
sounds like
Yeah.
nothing.
By volume. So what's happening is then people are having to consume a
Massive
large amount
quantities.
to get relief. There's 3, from my understanding, 3 licenses given out to the manufacturers. They're in charge of everything. They test their own product. They package their own product. They make their own product. Only 2 are working right now. The other person is just holding on to their license.
Okay.
Once the product leaves that facility, it has 24 hours to get into the hands of the patient. So Texas is big. So
Time restriction on
Yeah.
how long it can be outside of the.
So
Oh man.
they do a little pop-up where you go pick up your medicine, but it has to get there and back what doesn't sell within that time frame. But they're very few and far between. So the doctor was telling me, he has an elderly lady, she's got cancer. Mm-hmm. She can't get to that facility to pick this up.
Well, that was going to be my next thought. What if you can't get there?
You know what you can do? black market.
And that's what it is. And
That's what
now-
happens, right? Like,
And now we have every gas station and CBD store and whatever on every corner that says, oh, we have weed. Well, they've got the Delta 8 and Delta 9 products, but none of that is really very regulated in Texas, so you don't really know exactly
didn't that happen
what you're
here
getting.
before it?
We did. We had Delta 8.
Yeah, and wasn't it kind of like,
Was
this is the
bad.
Wild West. Like things are not working.
Yeah. Yes.
And then they said, okay, let's fix this. So Texas should just fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
They should, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't have much faith in that happening, to be honest with you, unfortunately.
And
I don't-
it's
we don't
getting
do-
more and more regulated here,
But
they
that's the
have
whole
fa-
point. It should,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, they found weed in certain places and destroyed it.
Yeah.
Destroyed the weed. They have taken THCV off the market, so we can't sell that.
What's that?
So THCV was kind of marketed as like a weight loss. It's an edible that helps you lose weight.
I thought that was the opposite
So-
of what we did.
Right, but you know how you might have a gummy or smoke weed and you get the munchies?
Yeah, well,
So
sure.
the THCV was more like kind of an appetite suppressant. You could still be high, but you won't get the munchies. But yeah, that was yanked off the market. I never tried THCV.
I haven't tried any of it.
Just because, I'm kind of skeptical about, what I try. I need to know what's in it. I need to know how much is in it because I can't be waking up crazy. I got stuff to do. My mind needs to
I know,
be
you're always
clear.
busy.
I am always busy, and these allergies aren't doing me any favors. But when I get home, like my brain is still going.
Yeah.
And I try to find ways to turn it down. Like I'll drink my beverage, my Slay beverage, because it's more of an indica strain. So that kind of relaxes me.
Yeah.
Then if I need to, I will have an edible to help me sleep because otherwise I'm on my phone. I'm laying in bed before I know it. It's 2 a.m. And I'm on TikTok, Facebook, and checking emails, and
These things have ruined us. These
yeah.
phones.
And when you got to get up the next morning, and let the dogs out, Lady and Milo, they don't want to hear that shit that I'm tired. They ready to go outside, use the bathroom, and then they want breakfast. You know,
They're like, I wasn't on my phone all night.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
yeah, get it cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
that's true. They don't care.
they don't care. They don't care. So,
Well, that's too bad that it's that way in Texas. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds
that's
like,
very unfortunate.
yeah, I mean, to say, okay, we'll open this up, but we're going to make it so tedious that it doesn't
Yeah,
work.
It doesn't. It
yeah.
just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oklahoma provides plenty for,
Oh, I'm sure it does
and now New Mexico is legal too, so it's coming from.
from either
All
side. But it's
sides.
still, Texas is a big old state.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. And I think too sometimes, and hopefully that doesn't happen here, but a lot of times when they legalize and then they put such high taxes on it, the black market still flourishes because
Yep.
they can't compete, like the legal market can't compete with the black market
right,
because
just
of
tax
the
it
way.
reasonably.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
We've had
Yes.
those conversations on the show too. So,
Yes.
If you really want to put an end to the illegal market, you have to make it more profitable to work in the legal market and accessible for people to get into the legal market, which I think has been really difficult in a lot of states. Oklahoma made it, I think, too accessible for everybody.
sure.
And now a lot of people put their life savings into these businesses, and it just wasn't sustainable to have tens of thousands of growers in a state that's only medical, that's as small as Oklahoma.
Sure.
But I do think it was maybe a fair way to do it because you knew what you were getting into and you put your money into it if you felt like you could make a go of it. Whereas a lot of other states, Michigan for one, was so expensive to get into the game there that
That
it really excluded all but the wealthiest of people.
Generally, the old white guys with money.
Yeah. who are speaking at the convention.
Yeah, pretty much.
It always comes back to that.
And,
It does.
And,
It does.
And I'm not saying like our exhibitors are lovely people and they
Oh, yeah.
they
I know.
want
Oh,
the
yeah.
best for the industry. I just would like things to progress a little faster than they have.
You want to be more inclusive.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah,
better
there's
for
nothing wrong
all
with
of us
that.
if it's more
Yeah,
inclusive.
absolutely.
Yes, yes, there is a business case for diversity.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are many studies that show the more diverse you are, the more revenue you actually make. I mean, when you look at the
Totally.
billions that are spent each year in the Black community, I mean, it is billions. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it doesn't need to be one or the other. Like, the industry should be able to
Yeah.
come together and make some place that feels safe for everyone.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
Yes. I think you're in the right place to see that happen.
I
we
hope
hope.
so. I hope
Yes.
so. I hope we continue here for a few years and kind of watch this industry grow the way we have in
Well,
some
I
other
think it's
states.
pretty clear your motivations are in the right place.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes. You will definitely be here for a few years. We'll make
Yeah.
sure of it.
Oh, but
Yes.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yes.
I've been loving it here.
Good.
And it's not 105 degrees, so that's lovely.
Minnesota's a pretty nice place.
Yeah.
Most of the
Yeah.
Texans I know spent their summers up here at various camps. That's
Yeah.
how I know a lot of Texans. So
Yeah, and there's great food, you know. Some nice
we got some
people.
good things going on up here.
We do.
Don't
We
move to
do.
Minnesota though.
My nieces are up here at camp this week, and my brother's actually
Oh, really?
picking them up tomorrow. So we're going to meet for dinner tomorrow night.
What
So
camp?
They're in Barimini. I don't know.
Bemidji?
They're maybe like 4 hours from here.
That's Bemidji, yes.
I'm curious what camp they're at. I probably know the camp.
I don't know. It's a German immersion camp.
It's Concordia Language Villages for sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because
just
they go
outside
every year.
Bemidji.
They
Yep.
go every year. Yeah.
Yep, that's the German language immersion campus.
Hilarious. I love it. She couldn't
Yeah.
say Bemidji.
I don't know. I've never heard it. He texted it to me. He goes, "Oh, I have to drive up to
Bemidji. Bemidji, yeah.
It,
Oh,
pick up
that's
the girls."
it
love
isn't
it.
Bemidji in Fargo. Don't they talk about? Okay, so
Oh, you mean
the
in
show.
movie? I was like,
no,
I
the
don't.
well, the
Or
movie
the show.
too.
Or the show, yeah.
It's in both. It's
probably.
in the movie too. Have you seen
Okay.
Fargo?
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie or the
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 movie.
new show.
Okay.
I haven't seen the show, but everybody says it's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
It
I haven't
is
watched it yet.
wonderful. You have not seen Fargo?
No, not the show. No.
Fargo, it's fucking off the chain. Okay.
I'm gonna have to
From the very first episode with Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh,
he's in the first season.
Okay.
So like every season has like a really good superstar.
Yep.
Like season 4, it stars Chris Rock, and season 2, you've got Bokeem Woodbine, and
Really?
yeah, it is. Let me tell you, you're gonna make me go home and watch
What's
it.
wrong with me that I haven't seen
I
it?
know. I'm thinking the
Let me
same
tell
thing.
you,
I'm like, have I missed
Billy
the
Bob
show?
Thornton is the fucking hitman.
He's so funny.
He's and then when you see him like, you know, kind of driving around Minnesota and Bemidji and Fargo, it is hilarious. You have to watch it, and it's addictive.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
you got to
Maybe my
watch it.
new Late night binge show when I can't sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's on Hulu right now, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got to watch it.
I will watch it now for
It's
sure.
my favorite show.
All
Yeah,
right.
it really shows how just kind of wacky Minnesotans can be, because every episode starts off, "This is a true story," but
Oh.
so
Oh no.
so sometimes like I'll meet some Minnesotans, I'm like, "Yeah, you would be on Fargo."
Oh, that's so funny.
Yes, yes.
Future
That's-
episode in the making.
Yes, yes.
excited.
That's her homework. Yeah, don't eat an edible first because you're gonna want to watch it. Go to sleep.
I won't eat an edible. Yeah, because I will fall asleep. That's
Exactly.
The reason I eat an
See?
edible, so I can
See?
fall asleep.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
If my back is hurting and I can't sleep, like I said, I have these little mints. It's 50-50 THC and CBD, 5 milligrams. It's
Nothing major.
Like, no.
Just helps you
Yep.
relax
My
and
back
sleep.
doesn't hurt quite so bad and relaxes me a
Well,
bit.
we got something good for you at
right.
Goodson when she comes. We'll take good
Can't
care of her.
Sure will.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
All right, you two. Should we wrap this up?
yeah.
You think?
Yeah, that
I think
sounds
it's probably
good.
time.
It's time.
I don't know. I've sure enjoyed meeting you, Angela. And
Yeah,
Yes.
it's nice to
conversation.
meet
I
you
definitely
guys.
enjoy meeting you.
A last
Like
minute deal, and you came in and you did this, and you'll be back in August.
I will be
for the
back in
show, and
August
we'll
for the
see you
show.
then.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Looking forward to it.
All
Yeah.
right, sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.